Salamat po. Pinakauli na lang pong tanong. Sa simpleng tanong lang po, no, attorney, makikita po ba rito sa mga dokumentong dala nyo kung meron mga perang pumasok o lumalabas dito sa mga accounts na to?
Maaari po, maaari makita dahil yung pong report na covered transaction at suspicious transactions ay may makikita po tayo doon na mga transaksyon na maaring palabas at papasok po.
Madam Chair.
The Honorable Keith Flores.
Madam Chair, medyo...
Is this a point of order?
Yes, point of order, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I'm concerned with where we are going right now. We will now be discussing from the statements of the AMLAC representative bank accounts. And I'm worried that the discussion might lead somewhere na pinagbabawal ng bank secrecy law. If that is the direction that the questions have been going and from the answers of the AMLAC. Are we not, in effect, violating the bank secrecy law, Madam Chair?
For the guidance of the members, before I recognize the Honorable De Lima, the subject matter of the subpoena issued by the Justice Committee are not bank records. Instead, it is AMLC report uncovered in suspicious transactions. Likewise, the person who is subpoenaed are not bank officials and employees. The person who is subpoenaed is, of course, no less than the head of the Anti-Money Laundering Council. For the record, the coverage of bank secrecy law and for the guidance of the members are bank officials and employees and bank records. And the chair is of the opinion that the subject matter of our subpoena is apparently not covered by the protection of the bank secrecy law. The Honorable De Lima is recognized.
Before the Honorable De Lima answers, Madam Chair, I just want to, from your statements po, well, it is true na, yun nga, hindi nga banks ang sinupina natin, hindi din bank employees ang sinupina natin. But parang yung, from the answers kasi kanina, it would deal with certain bank accounts already, Madam Chair. So wouldn't that in effect be parang circumventing also the bank secrecy law?
We note the observation of the Honorable Keith Flores. Nonetheless, we are strictly compliant with the letters of the bank secrecy law. The Honorable De Lima is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Tama po yung sinabi ng ating chair na hindi po tayo sakop ng prohibition. Yes, meron ho tayong secrecy of bank deposits law na sinasabing sikreto, confidential, yung mga bank deposits, pero hindi po naman yan absolute rule na wala na siyang exception. Ang exception dyan, isa sa mga exception na yung cases of impeachment. Pero bago po ako to dwell on that, ay tungkol naman po dun sa sinasabing pwedeng may prohibition. Kasi nakalagay po sa section 3 of the law itself.
Louder,
Republic Act-
Honorable De Lima, louder.
Republic Act number 1405 or the Secrecy of Bank Deposits Law, it is explicit. It applies only to officials and employees of banking institutions. Nakasabi po sa section 3, it shall be unlawful for any official or employee of a banking institution to disclose to any person other than those mentioned in section 2 hereof any information concerning said deposits. So, ang pinasabina po, kagaya nung sinabi ng ating chair, ay yung AMLAC, AMLC, at hindi po bangko, at hindi po mismong bank accounts ang pinasabina natin. Ang pinasabina po natin ay yung record, if any, of suspicious or covered transactions. And let's note also na meron na rin tayo yung batas na Anti-Money Laundering Act or Republic Act number 9160. It further reinforces the position na wala tayong violation dito na nagaganap. It embodies the state's more recent and more specific policy that financial secrecy cannot be used to conceal unlawful activity. Sabi po sa batas na yan, Anti-Money Laundering Act, covered institutions, lalo na yung mga bangko, most notably the banks, are required to report suspicious transactions to the AMLC, and such reporting is expressly declared as not violative of the Bank Deposit Secrecy Law. Hindi po siya violative. So ang pinaproduce po natin based on the subpoena ay yung any record of suspicious or and covered transactions affecting nga po si VP Sara. At nasabi po ng ating Executive Director ng AMLC, ang dala-dala niya ay precisely dalawang klase ng dokumento. Yung reports mismo on suspected or covered transactions sa mga accounts ni VP Sara, either singly, siya lang, o jointly. Meron siyang mga ka-joint account sa ibang tao, katulad ng kanyang asawa, katulad ng kanyang ama, katulad ng ibang miyembro pa ng kanyang pamilya. At ang pangalawa ay financial intel reports. At sakop po yan ng mandato. Kaya nga, rini-require yung pag-submit ng mga transactions na yan para i-report kung covered ang transactions at dinidetermine kung suspicious, kung may mga red flags yung mga transactions na yan na pwede makapagsabi na meron ditong gumagamit ng pera sa illegal o kaya sa money laundering. So I submit, Madam Chair, and going back, by the way, to I almost forgot, yung exception po yung cases of impeachment dyan sa Bank Secrecy Deposit Law. Cases of impeachment. So sakop po tayo dito. Kasi remember, the impeachment proceedings have been initiated already by the acts of the filing of the complaint and the referral of those multiple complaints, the original four complaints sa Justice Committee. And that initiated the impeachment proceedings. And so there is now a case of impeachment. The exception does not say in case of impeachment trial in the Senate. It says it's broader, it's more encompassing. In cases of impeachment, yung nagaganap po sa atin ngayon, ito po ay impeachment proceedings na validly initiated complaints because they were referred and acted upon by the Committee on Justice. For those reasons, Madam Chair, ang aking pong position, firm position, wala po tayong linalabag na batas dito, lalo na yung Bank Secrecy Deposit Law or Republic Act 1405, 36 years later, ay meron ng amendment yung Anti-Money Laundering Act or the Republic Act number 9160. Maraming salamat po.